This is Manchester Voices, a podcast run by students at the University of Manchester.
Hi, I'm Khadijat and you're listening to Manchester Voices, and I'm joined by some amazing Manchester Voices with me here too.
Hello, I am Dorsa and I am a second-year biotechnology student.
Hi, I'm Dara. I'm a postgrad and I study cognitive neuroscience and neuropsychology. It sounds way fancier than it is.
Women in STEM, love that.
Love that.
I am a simple management marketing student. And today we're talking about well-being, and being students that are in university, we really have to manage our well-being. So before we get into the well-being, right, I have interesting facts that I just learnt about University of Manchester, or Manchester in general. Yesterday, I was on my way to the Manchester Museum, which is beautiful, by the way, and I was stunned by this, lion-looking, not so lion-looking figure. Turns out she's a tiger. Her mum was a lion and her dad was a tiger, and she was
possible?
Yeah, apparently I didn't even know
is.
they existed. And she was bred, like the hybrid was bred by humans, because naturally in the wild, tigers and lions never meet, except from one tiny area in India. So I think that was pretty interesting that they decided to make that hybrid. I think
Did
that's
it
pretty
have
cool.
any offspring?
No, she did not. I think she lived in Manchester from 1936 to 1949, and when she died, her skin was preserved for the Manchester Museum. And her name is Maud. We should shout out to Maud. Shout out Maud. Yeah.
Slay Manchester. Okay, so my fun fact is that Manchester's Northern Quarter is actually used as a movie set double for New York sometimes.
Ooh.
And like the first Captain America movie and also The Crown
Yeah.
and some other like shows as well. They pretend it's New York.
My fun fact is that my granddad came to university here. He got a scholarship and he was also the valedictorian in 1964. No, he has 2 degrees, so I'm not sure if he did law here, if he did his education degree here. But that's my only fun fact. Granddaddy went here.
Has
R.I.P.
2
bro.
degrees. Big flex. But yeah. Okay, so now we can jump into well-being. Question number 1. How do you feel in the run-up to exam?
I mean, I think I stressed myself out so much until the first exam, and then when that's done, I'm so exhausted. I can't give any energy to the rest. But yeah, just stressed and overthinking everything is how I can put it.
Yeah, I can relate to that. When in the run-up to exams, I feel anxious, like anxious with 4 S's, like anxious. Like I've been known to avoid exams, and I've managed to avoid exams for most of my university experience because I've gotten a panic attack before from exams. And let's say, but that's just days before exams. Weeks before exams, I have spikes of motivation where I'm like, yeah, let's get it. I'm on my Rocky, like, eye of a tiger, like, tunnel vision. And then I see how much I actually have to do, and I'm making my to-do list, and then I'm demotivated again. I'm like, nah, get somebody else to do it. Like, this is not for me. But I would say that if you break your to-do list into more doable chunks or doable tick boxes, then that's helpful. That's helped me, because at the end of the day, whether I get anxious or not, I still have to get it done, don't I?
Yeah.
So I break it down into things I can get done in 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and then if I still feel like doing it, I keep doing it, and if I don't, then I'll move on to something else and come back to it. But yeah, that's definitely helpful for me.
I think the mindset that this is going to be over in like 24 hours, this is going to be over in like a week. In 1 week, I'll be so happy and free. That keeps me going.
Yeah.
So what I would do is do objectives in the week rather than a schedule, because schedules stress me out. I will in the past be like, I'll get up 9 a.m. Never happens. So every Friday, I'm a little social butterfly. So I plan things around my weekend. So I know by next week Friday I want to go to this party or I want to go to this event, and what objectives should I complete by then? And so I don't know, let's say I have 4 courses. I need to complete 1 chapter per course. I need to complete homework for 2 courses, whatever. So I know what I have to get done for the week, but there's no set day or set time. It's just whenever I think I'm in the mood to do it. So I know every day I have to get something done, but it's
Yeah.
what mood am I in on this checklist.
Yeah, I think that sounds really good because definitely from experience, schedules can be restricting.
Yeah.
And it's like when you let's say you don't wake up at 9 a.m. or you don't go to the gym at 9 a.m., then you're just like, oh, well, everything else that was supposed to follow it has been messed up now. And you feel like you don't have the motivation to get anything done anymore. Or at least that was the case for me. So I definitely agree that objectives are the way to go. Like the way you planned it around meeting friends and going out is definitely something good because that's taking care of your well-being as well, being around friends and family and not just being in front of your books or a screen all day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I really admire how you manage your, like, work-life balance, because if you don't have the balance, you're not gonna be able to work. If you're exhausting yourself with work, you're not gonna want to do it anymore.
During exams in the year before you came to university, how did you manage your well-being?
I did not manage myself well at all. Not my well-being, not my studying, not my time.
Yeah.
It was kind of a wreck, but if I could go back and advise myself, I'd probably say start earlier.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to, like, scramble to do 6 subjects in 2 weeks.
Mood. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I would definitely say, start early as well. Like I try to be as prepared as possible because the more prepared I was, the less anxious I was. So I definitely prepared a lot and I tried to plan as many responses as I could to questions, like practice questions. Because then I just felt like if I saw the paper, I'd be more confident that, I've done something like this before, I can do it again. Another thing I did was I allowed myself to have mental breaks. And by mental breaks, I just mean like moments of silence. No music, nothing to stimulate my brain. I literally just wanted to have no thoughts. And this would be maybe when I'm eating, or if not when I'm eating, then when I'm waiting for the bus. Because the way I like to behave, like I move during exam seasons is I'm constantly multitasking. Like I'm taking my flashcards everywhere. But that's not always healthy. And having a break and not thinking about anything was pretty helpful as well.
So I actually had an anxiety pad. That's what I call it. So I had like this little pad that I would take around in my backpack or my purse or whatever. And like anytime I felt like anxiety, I would write about like the anxiety. I didn't care where I was. Like there was a point I was writing 20 times a day in that anxiety pad because I had so much anxiety. And so like in my early 20s, I just became very mental health focused because I did my undergrad in psychology. So by default, like I was already like in the environment to be mental health focused. So besides the anxiety part, like every evening I took time to like just do breath work, just have deep breaths in, out. I'm Christian, so like I'd spend some of that time just having a chat with God, kind of just connecting to something more than myself. I also like wrote poetry, very painful poetry, let me tell you. I also used to dance, so like sometimes like anxiety has no concept of time. I would wake up at 3 a.m. and be like, wow, I'm having an anxiety attack, what to do? And I would go in my apartment yard and just like dance for like an hour or however long, and it just made me feel good. So I think the way that I managed my well-being was just like mindfulness practices and movement.
Exactly, yeah. Mindfulness for sure.
It's a lot harder to do than say, I think. Like unplugging yourself from thoughts, from social media and everything. Practice. It takes a lot of discipline, which don't think I really have. I'm always reaching for my phone if I'm on the bus. Like I put it away and I'm like, okay, let me just check Instagram. Let me just check my calendar just because I can.
Yeah, me too. I don't speak to that many people and I'm always checking my phone for messages. Like I don't know what I'm looking for. It's this like attachment to our phones that we have. But mindfulness is definitely a skill you can practice and you can build up because, I wasn't always perfect at trying to declutter my mind or quiet the mind.
Yeah.
But another thing that I did was visualizing. So I visualized how I would feel when I left the exam hall or how I would feel when I opened the paper and I saw the questions. Like I would feel like, yes, like, oh my gosh, I prepared for this question. I would visualize how I would breathe, like how I was actually breathing. So I would catch myself in the moment. If I was breathing fast or anxiously, like I would just calm myself down because, I've pictured this already.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah, that's a dope one.
Definitely, yeah.
I feel like I'm very philosophically behind.
No.
I don't know all of these like mental health advices.
No.
I think I have a lot to learn.
I mean, learning's good.
That's
but-
what conversations are for.
Yeah, that's what conversations are for.
I know for the week I want to go to gym 4 days. I know I want to get X, Y, and Z amount of sleep. I know when it's possible to get that amount of sleep. I know I have these chapters to complete, this homework to do. And just like seeing it written down into like segments and reminding myself, oh, well, a day has 24 hours. It's actually not impossible to do if I just like listen to my body and give it rest and do chunks of it bit by bit. And being realistic too, because if you cannot do more than 4 things, don't do more than 4 things. Don't lie to yourself.
Definitely. I
And
think
that's-
being realistic is
yeah.
so
Yeah.
important.
And even 3 to 4 things, sometimes you can...
Yeah.
Don't set expectations for yourself. My dad always tells me
Yeah.
to like be realistic with my expectations, but I just want to get rid of the expectations, the word. Like, I want to get rid of the word should. Like, if I was the leader of a country, I would get rid of the word should, because expectations really did me a disfavor and contributed to my my depression when I went through depression, because I was always like, you know, I'm supposed to be the smart girl. I'm supposed to be the well-organized one, because that's how people described me, right? And I really took on those labels, that was who I was. And then when I wasn't doing anything that aligned with that character that I saw myself as and I
You felt
expected,
like a
Yeah.
failure.
expected myself to be, I went through an identity crisis. Who goes through an identity crisis at 18 years old? Please, like, that's like a
Girl, I
midlife
have
crisis
gone through
before
every
midlife,
year.
you know?
Every single
I'm
year.
27 and I've gone through at least 2 identity crises.
But yeah, so like, you know, even if you get one thing done, that's okay.
Yeah.
Or like, even if sleep is what you got done in the day, sleep can be productive too.
Yeah.
Don't deprive yourself of sleep.
I don't think we count things that are also productive and like
Mm-hmm.
when we in our bed at the end of the day and we're thinking, what did I do today? I was so useless. You weren't. You got up, you brushed your teeth,
I know.
you had
Yeah.
breakfast. That's not something everyone can do.
Exactly.
I think the word of the day is probably like grace. Just remembering as a student to give yourself grace, to take your time and not be like stringent about everything.
Don't compare yourself, for one, because I know that during exam season or just whenever it's academic season, like when summer holidays are finished or summer holidays are about to end, I'm going on YouTube, I'm going on TikTok, looking at people's routines of how they're, you know, revising and how they're planning themselves, or looking at people timetabling how they're going to timetable their entire university life. And I'm comparing myself like, okay, yeah, she's doing this or he's doing this and I'm not doing this. Yeah, I should probably try this. Don't compare yourself. Just give yourself grace, like Dara said.
Before exams, I'm just mostly concerned about time, about will I crack under pressure? Will I not know anything? How is the exam going to happen? Because I'm a person that likes to know exactly how something's going to go down. I don't like surprises at all.
Yeah.
Positive, negative, I don't really care. I don't like surprises. I like to know everything, how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So just reminding myself, this is something that I've done before. I know how this goes. This is what's going to happen. 1, 2, 3. You're going to submit it by this time because I have online exams. You're going to download it. This is the app you're going to use. Like setting up my Word document to like the perfect formatting. All that like helps me calm down before the exam.
Good. Yeah. I would say that one thing that helps me keep calm, or makes me calm in general, is gratitude, right? Not necessarily physically like writing down, but just having thoughts of things I'm grateful for, because I feel like there's a lot to be grateful for that sometimes we take for granted. And another thing that keeps me calm is just speaking to family and friends. Sometimes it's venting and sometimes it's just having light-hearted conversations. So yeah.
And talking to people in my course about what bothers them. Because sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm the only one that doesn't understand. Like, I'm the worst person on this course. Everyone's like so much better than me. But if you like talk to them and understand they're human too, they have areas that confuse them as well.
Yeah.
They might help you understand and you might help them understand.
Yeah.
And you guys just both rise together.
Yeah, everyone, you learn that everyone's actually really in the same boat in uni. Like, you think you're the only one stressing or not understanding a task, and then everyone's saying the same thing. Like, yesterday I was like, I haven't started my research yet. Like, I'm still confused. And everyone's like, yeah, me too. I was like, oh my
My
gosh.
people.
I had a High School Musical moment. We're all in this together. Do you guys feel that your academic performance represents you?
I'd like to say no, my grades don't represent me. Like, I'm my own person, but I think I haven't really outgrown the concept that my grades are me and I'm not working hard enough. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. It can also be a very positive thing. So if you do well, if you improve, if like on your last exam you got a 50 and now you got like a 55, you can be like, oh, that's a reflection of my hard work, my dedication, my commitment, my openness to learn, my openness to become a better person, and my time.
Yeah, I like how you said my dedication's a hard work, my openness to learn and stuff like that. Because I think that's more the thing that represents you than the grade you got. Like I remember my little brother, he shows me his grades and so forth. He's about to do his GCSEs next year. And I was going through the grades, and they were good grades on paper. But I am from a Nigerian family, so we are like, you got 98%, where's the 2%?
Other 2%?
You know, but I was like to him, I was like, I mean, the grades look good, but I'm more concerned about how you prepared for it. Like, if you didn't put in hard work, or if you did not apply
the ethic of.
Yeah, exactly. It's the principle, it's the ethic. It's not necessarily the numbers on the page, you know, because you could get some really lucky people can get 97% without having to do anything, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, are you pushing yourself? Did you regulate yourself? Were you disciplined? Or what did you do to get the grades? Not just the grades of defining who you are.
I don't think like 100% paper would be descriptive of who I am. I think I'm more of a culmination of all the effort, all the time management, all the dedication and effort that it took to be better, to do things on the side that got me here, that are a representation of me.
So my mom's actually in education, and something she said to me years ago that helped me was that, so when she was doing her master's, she was basically studying something called measurement in education. And I don't know why this blew me away, but she was like, exams are a measurement of your understanding of the material.
Yes.
But the thing is, your understanding of the material isn't a reflection of you. It's also a reflection of how well this course was taught, how much access you had to help from lecturers and whomever else. And I'm not saying like, lecturers are bad. I love my lecturers. They're fantastic.
Same. But shout out to my lecturers.
Shout out to Dennis.
Shout out to Paul.
I've got too many to shout out, so shout out you all. Yeah.
So I would say that when you get back on exam result is more the reflection of how well you understood the material. And if you didn't really understand the material, personally for me, I would be like, okay, maybe this isn't either a field I want to go into or these are skills I would like to improve later on. It's more of like, where do I go with this information based on this test result to better myself? Or is this something that I enjoy enough to want to better?
Exactly.
I think something that stuck with me, my mom's a teacher. One thing she said to me once, and while I know she does really like it when I do really well, and she kind of does expect great grades, but she let me know that it's okay if I don't do great if she can see that I studied for it. That really helped me.
Same with my dad, One thing my dad said to me, because at one point I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to university. Like, I actually hate education at this point. Like, I'm giving it my all and it's just not working for me. And my dad saw that I was revising all the time. He's like, okay, it's not you. Like, you don't have the capacity to understand this. Doesn't mean you don't have the capacity to understand something else. Like, I had untapped potential somewhere else. And where I played to my strengths, which was how I started doing management and marketing and my creative stuff, I'm excelling here because that's more for me. So sometimes things we're covering in school aren't, unlocking our potential. There are things outside of school that are unlocking our potential. Okay, so research story of the day. So before we close the show, we would like to give you a little fact from what's happening at the university. University of Manchester's researchers have carried out analysis as part of an NHS behaviour change programme that has resulted in a 20% reduction in the risk of diabetes.
Ooh.
We love that. Okay. The NHS Healthier You Diabetes Prevention Programme in England is offered to non-diabetic adults with raised blood sugars or pre-diabetes, providing exercise and dietary advice to help reduce people's risk of developing the disease. Professor Jonathan Velabji said, "We completed rollout on the NHS Diabetes Prevention Programme in 2018, and now over 1.2 million people have been offered support with lifestyle changes, including better quality nutrition, weight loss, and increase physical activity, which this study shows is preventing development of this life-changing condition. So, some excellent news to end our show from our researchers here at Manchester.
Slay Mr. Balapchi.
Yeah, shout out the researchers.
Thank you.
Clicks for you. All right, so guys, I'm Khadijat, and you guys are...
Dorsa.
Dara.
And it was nice talking to you guys. Bye!
If you've got a topic you want us to discuss, drop us a message on Instagram at officialuom and mention Manchester Voices. Our jingle was created by student Maisie Illul.